Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. We've got a couple of seats left. If you're milling about, come and join us. It's going to be a very, very exciting hour or so. Welcome to SLINGSHOT 2025, Asia's most exciting deep tech startup competition. My name is Yasmin, and I'm the host of SLINGSHOT. Now, before we begin into the second of 4 domain finals, we want to say a big thank you to our amazing sponsors and partners for being such an important part of the SLINGSHOT journey. Their time, their expertise, and generosity have really shaped this competition, whether it's through hosting workshops or participating in our panel discussions, providing fantastic prizes for our winners, or joining us as judges and mentors. Now, this year, we are proud to welcome over 200 international judges and mentors, along with 20 corporate and competition partners. Can we give them a big round of applause? Thank you. So SLINGSHOT this year, we have some amazing prizes as we celebrate the 10th year of Switch. We have upped the game. Our top 60 global startups are here to pitch their way to becoming one of the top 12 grand finalists, snagging more than 2 million Singapore dollars in grant and cash prizes, startup resources, mentor opportunities, and corporate deals. Now, one startup from the next domain we're going to have, which is the health and biomedical domain, wins $10,000 in cash, sponsored by Halion. Now, on top of that, our top 12 domain winners each walk away with a $60,000 Startup SG grant and also 4-week intangible asset identification sprint from IPOS International, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Intellectual Property of Singapore. Now, on Friday, 31st of October, we're going to crown our top 3, and they're going to walk away with an additional $900,000 worth of Startup SG grant, up to 18 months rent-free space at JTC Launchpad, and also have their 4-week intangible asset identification sprint expanded to an 8-week intangible asset audit and strategy sprint from IPOS International. So over $2 million at stake here. Now, before we hear from our startups, let me introduce to you our esteemed panel of judges, all sitting there today. This is for the health and biomedical domain finals. Please welcome, we have Mr. Anselm Tan, Digital Health and MedTech Lead of Clavist Bio. Very good afternoon, sir. Together with us, Dr. Buzz Palmer, CEO of Synthesis Capital. We've got Ms. Lee Chen Yi, partner of Polaris Partners. Very well, welcome. Mr. Chris Lee, founder and CEO of Venture Blick. Mr. David Sabo, Global Head of Innovation of Banking, HSBC. We're welcoming back Mr. Frederick Nyberg, who is Managing Director of MedTech Innovator Asia Pacific. With us, we've got Dr. Wong Hon Tim, Clinical Director of Center for Healthcare Innovation. Also with us, we have Mr. Navjiwan Khosla, did I say that right? I hope so I did. Who is partner at Nova Holdings. We've got Dr. Pauline Tay, Director of National Health Innovation Center, Singapore. Mr. So Ling Wan, Assistant Managing Director of Enterprise Singapore. Mr. Steve Walsh, Discover and Apply Lead of Halion. And last but not least, Dr. Yo Su Ling, Director of Venture Creation and Growth at A-Star. A very warm welcome to all our judges. You have the very non-enviable task of deciding which 3 to push through to the grand finals. Let's talk about rules. Each of our startup will have 3 minutes to pitch. At the end of the 3 minutes, startups, unfortunately, if you're not done, I will have to interrupt you and end it. After that, a 4-minute Q&A with our judges. And then the judges will head to deliberation. And tomorrow, we will find out our top 12 grand finalists. Everybody, can we give our startups a big round of applause to encourage them? It's not easy being on stage. 3 minutes really just whizzes by, I tell you. All right, let the pitching begin. Okay, our very, very first startup, please welcome Dr. Julio Alonso for Airway Shield.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr. Alonso.
Hello.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
All ready, you got 3 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna let you place everything down properly. Grab the clicker. You might need
Yes.
the clicker, yes. All right, your 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you very much. In the 1940s, American car companies developed the seat belt. In the 60s of the same century, the US government, recognizing the advantages, make it mandatory. Now we are all used to all the safety features of our cars, like the seat belt for protection or the power steering for direction. But we are not here to talk about cars. We are here to talk about endotracheal intubation, the third most common medical procedures in hospitals worldwide, necessary for all surgeries and critical emergencies, but with a 45% rate of complications, severe complications in emergency intubations. And I'm talking about hypoxia, hypotension, even cardiac arrest and death. More than 100 million intubations are done every year worldwide. And being the teeth damage, the first cause of cleansing anesthesia worldwide as well. And overall, the estimated peri-intubation complications cost is $6 billion only in the US. In the 40s of the last century as well, this gentleman, Sir Robert McIntosh, invented the laryngoscope that we still use today, and we still intubate in the same way, without protection from the mouth and without a guide for the tube. I present to you the Airway Seal, the most disruptive medical device for airway management in decades. The Airway Seal protects patients' teeth and mucosa, protects clinicians from aerosols and infections, and guides the endotracheal tube, making this critical procedure that if fails the patient could die easier, faster, and safer. Our market is global, and we are unique. Nobody has tried to intubate with the mouth cover, and we have made it thanks to our flexible channel guide that easily guides the tube towards the lungs. Our device is protected by an international, very robust patent that covers 90% of the global market and protects not only the device but also the new intubation technique. Our team combines a deep expertise in the medical area with a profound knowledge of business development, quality, and marketing. We are dedicated to R&D and to promote the clinical studies that support commercialization. And we coordinate but externalize distribution and manufacturing. We are in a critical point of our growth. We have a new manufacturing facility that has multiplied our production capacity. We receive the interest from international distributors worldwide. We have already the CE mark, and the US FDA has designated our device safer technology. We are now ready to set up our subsidiaries in Boston and Singapore for market access, research, and manufacturing in America and the APAC. We are also working in new developments, more adult sizes and pediatric sizes, a video airway seal, and a solution that combines artificial intelligence with our device that will allow us to confirm the correct position of the endotracheal tube in real time. And this is critical and will save thousands of lives every year. The same as the seatbelts revolutionized care safety last century, we will be the standard of care in airway management. Thank you very much.
Dr. Alonso, that's all the time we have. Thank you
Fantastic.
for that. First pitch. All right, we've got 4 minutes with our judges. Clock starts now. Judges who would like to go first. We have a question. We have a question from Anselm of Clavist Bio. Anselm, please.
Thank you, Dr. Julio. Could you talk about economics? Is there reimbursement for the device, and how is this paid for?
We have done 2 rounds of raising funds, and we are doing now the 3rd round. We have done 2 rounds very successfully, and we are down now a 3rd round to get through the process of FDA. We have the safer technology designation. In fact, we are the first anesthetic device to get this designation, but we have to go through a de novo process that is costly, and we are doing the 3rd round now.
To clarify my question, so when you market this to your customer, is the device being reimbursed?
Yes, yes. We will go through the code in the US, the code for endotracheal intubation, but through the de novo process, we will be able to create a new code. Obviously, that will take years, but at the moment, we will be commercialized with the old code for endotracheal intubation. And our business is B2B, so we will be selling to hospitals, network of hospitals, etc.
Yep. And one more question. To what extent do you have human data around some of the claims to reduce aerosol infection? and
Yeah.
faster intubation times?
Yeah, thank you for that question. We have three preclinical studies done and 2 clinical studies, 1 pilot with 20 patients and 1 randomized control study with 100 patients. Now we are working in a multi-center study that will be done in several countries in Europe, Brazil and Qatar, comparing our device with the competitors, which is bars that goes inside the tube, and not only they don't protect from trauma, well, first they are not 100% effective, but also they don't protect from trauma and then create trauma. So we will compare with 750 patients in all of these countries with those devices, and that will be our breakthrough clinical study.
We've got about 2 minutes left. Next question from Frederick of MedTech Innovator.
Thanks for the presentation. It's good to see some innovation in the area of endotracheal intubation, where there hasn't been a whole lot happening for the last several decades. My question is really about the dominance of the big intubation players at the moment, the likes of Teleflex and so on. How do you propose to work with them, if at all? Are they competitors of yours, or can they retrofit this device onto their endotracheal tubes, and what's your go-to-market plan in view of what their position?
Thank you for the question. So we are not competitors of them because our accessory facilitates intubation with every video laryngoscope and works with every size of tube at the moment from 6.0 to 9.0, so the normal adult size of tubes. And in fact, some of these companies, Medtronic for example, has been interested in our device to complement the selling of their products. At the moment there is some manufacturing that they manufacture laryngoscopes, and they have stylets to help guide the tube, which they are very dangerous, and we all professionals know that they are very dangerous. So Medtronic for example is interested in our device because obviously does not produce trauma and guides even better than the stylets.
We've got about 40 seconds left. Only time for a quick question from Dr. Wong of CHI.
Do you have your results, are they taken from straightforward airways, or did you do difficult airways as well? Yeah.
Yes, exactly, for every airway. In fact, our device will be outstanding for emergencies and pre-hospital where the airways are more difficult. But we are aiming for be the standard of care because also protects from trauma. And as I have said, teeth breaking, it looks like not important complications, but is the #1 claim from anesthesia all over the world. So we expect to be universal for every intubation.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Judges, thank you. Judges, once again,
Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Alonso for Airway Shield.
Thank you very much.
Whoops, careful. All right. Thank you. All right, next up to present, please welcome Dr. Pinzo for Exensis. Et clap là. Hello, Dr. Zhou. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Okay, your 3 minutes starts now.
All right, great. Thanks for the opportunity to present you Exensis as the next generation antibody drug conjugate company in Singapore. So when talking about oncology or cancer treatment, we must think of chemotherapy automatically. Indeed, we are appreciating chemotherapy for its effectiveness, affordability, but in the meantime, we are suffering on its side effect as well. Antibody conjugate concept is to conjugate a chemo into an antibody where the antibody can recognize the cancer cells very selectively so that it can bring the chemo into the cancer cells to killing the cancer cells but not the tumor cells. This technology from the concept to commercialization has been taking us over 100 years. And in the past 2 decades, ADC became much mature. And indeed, the prediction of the market will grow in substantially over the next 10 years. ADC technology has been dominated mainly by 2 classes of payloads. One class of payload developed by Seagen, which is a tubulin inhibitor called MMAE. So Seagen, this company, eventually was acquired by Pfizer with $43 billion transaction a few years ago. And the other company is a Japanese company called Daiichi. So they developed a top isomer compound called DXd. So now it's like a $50 billion market value company. So if you think about if all the ADC technology is using similar payloads, there will be another question, which is drug resistance. So this is what Exensys is offering. Over the last few years, we developed very comprehensive technology we call XenDot, with unique MOA, safety, and so on, the features we believe to be the next generation of ADC payload technology. We filed 13 patents so far to protect our technology. Using this technology, we're developing our leading program targeting a tumor-specific antigen called Claudin-6. So this compound demonstrates very robust in vivo efficacy in the preclinical model, so that allows us to get the IND approval from FDA authority, which allows us to advance into the clinical trial very soon. The Claudin-6 is expressed in multiple tumor types, and it potentially can be multiple billion-dollar markets running up together. I can stand here with the team support. We have a very experienced team. Each of us will have 20, 30 years experience in the industry, where we cover the expertise from medicinal chemistry, antibody conjugation, and the clinical development, allow the company to grow substantially in the next few years. So with that saying, I think 3 minutes is very short, but happy to be connected after this event as well. So thank you very much. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Zhou. On the dot as well. We've got 4 minutes now with the judges. We're resetting the clock. The timer starts now. Judges, who would like to go first?
Hi.
I have a question from Chris of VentureBlink. Yes.
Yeah, this is Chris Lee from VentureBlink. I've got a business-related question. Your earlier slide, you show a major oncology company like a J&J, Bristol Myers Squibb, Novartis, and others. But, developing something like this, financially speaking, is a multi-million-dollar task, especially knowing that you will start the phase 1 trial later this year. You don't have to tell me any company, but are you in discussion with any of these major oncology companies at this point in time, or not yet?
I think the short answer is yes. We have active discussions with multiple MNCs and exploring some collaborations.
So can I assume your company's ultimate goal is to be acquired by one of these companies?
That's one of the possibility, acquisition by the MNC, or we can IPO independently from, in Hong Kong or in Nasdaq.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Good question now from Dr. Pauline of NHIC.
Hi, very nice, inspiring presentation. Just wanted to check, right? I'm not clear about the differentiation factor of your ADC versus what's out in the market. Is that confidential? You can't talk about it? What does it make your ADC much better than what's already being used today?
So the short answer is the payloads. So like I mentioned, a lot of ADC either use topoisomers or use tubulin inhibitors, and the drug resistance will become a problem because eventually ADC is a targeted chemo. As long as you are chemo, drug resistance will be a problem. So the payload technology we are offering with a completely new mechanism of action. So the idea is to overcome the resistance. So when the resistance emerging, we have option here.
We've got about 2 minutes left. Dr. Yu of A-Star, please.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. It was great. Can I ask you for your antibody conjugate? Is your antibody proprietary or is a antibody that you license from somewhere else? And what is your pipeline?
Yeah, thanks for the question. I think antibody, we also have a team, a great team to develop antibody our own selves. Today we emphasize on the payload technology itself, but I think as a company we have IPs on the antibody discovery, on the conjugation, on the linker, all the components of an antibody drug conjugate.
We've got about 1.5 minutes left. Judges, do we have any more questions for Dr. Zhou? Got a question from David of HSBC, please.
Yeah, thank you for the work that you're doing around this. These tend to be very expensive clinical trials and long duration. Have you given a sense to get through phase 1 and into phase 2, how much capital would be required to run the type of clinical study to develop, the mechanism of action further?
Yeah, thanks for that question. That's a common challenge for developing a medicine in the biotech fields. So we are in the process of raising 40 to 50 million USD so that we can advance the compound from phase 1 to phase 2, and also to develop other programs in the relative early stage. So yes, it's quite costly.
We've got about 40 seconds left. Time only for a really quick question, judges. Do we have a final question? I think the judges look very satisfied. Thank you, judges. Once again, Dr. Zhou of Exensys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next up for Beta Life, please welcome Dr. Natasha Ng. Woo! Dr. Ng, you brought some supporters with you. Are you ready?
Yes.
You've got this. Your 3 minutes starts now.
Right. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Natasha, co-founder of Beta Life, and we are here to cure diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic condition affecting over 500 million patients, and 100 million of these patients require daily insulin injections and glucose monitoring to survive. And yet there's high risk for complications, meaning the treatments are not effective enough. At Beta Life, we are developing a durable solution for treating severe diabetes. Our cell therapy platform is based on a proprietary stem cell bank, a gene editing platform to allow the cells to be safe and not have immune rejection when transplanted, a scalable manufacturing system, and enhanced cell survival when transplanted into the patient's body in an intramuscular site. We are redefining the care for diabetes because the current treatments only address the symptoms and do not provide a cure. So the next frontier, which is stem cell-derived therapy, addresses the root cause of the disease and allows patients to regain a normal life. We are different because we have the potential to achieve scalability in manufacturing to reduce production costs, and we have the potential to provide broad immune acceptance to allow patients to access the treatment and also better treatment outcomes for patients. We have gained traction. We have secured grants and awards, and importantly, we have generated $300,000 in revenue from our stem cell banking and development pipeline, and secured partnerships, particularly local partners in China, to drive our first-in-human trials. This is a large market. Our first lead asset, the cell therapy, the diabetes cell therapy, has the potential to be out-licensed to Big Pharma upon the completion of first-in-human and early-phase trials. And this is attractive because the market size is projected at $130 billion for treating insulin-dependent diabetes. The recent deals show huge appetite in this area, and so Beta Life has the potential for a 15x return on investment for seed investors upon successful development. And this is only the starting point, as we can expand our platform to tackle other diseases affecting the brain, the heart, and the liver. We have a diverse and strong team with track record and leadership in stem cells and regenerative medicine, clinical islet transplant, as well as commercial pharma experience. To conclude, we have IP protected technology, we have stem cell manufacturing capabilities and know-how, we have traction through our current commercially ready streams, and so we welcome you to join us so that we can cure diabetes together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ng, for the presentation. And now our Q&A with the judges. 4 minutes starts. Now, judges, we have a question from Navjiwan from Nova Holdings, please.
Yeah, can you tell me where is this 300,000 revenue coming from?
Our revenue is coming from stem cell generation and banking. So these will be autologous stem cell banks, and that can be iPSC banks, the pluripotent stem cells, or mesenchymal stem cell banks. And these are also stem cell banks that are generated from our research partnerships. Okay, and out of the 4 or 5 stages you said, which is stem cell and gene editing and scalable manufacturing, where are you currently? Oh, we have pieces of each of them. Okay. So we already have the GMP-ready stem cell banks, with which we are screening for high efficiency differentiation to the islet cells. We have also done the gene editing to insert a combination of transgenes into safe harbor sites in the genome, and we have begun the process of scale-up manufacturing in a 3D bioreactor system. And have you done any testing, animal testing or clinical studies? What has been the outcome? Yeah, we are at preclinical stage now. So we have done a small animal studies in mouse models, both immunocompromised and immunocompetent mice, and we are preparing for validation in large animal models through one of our current collaborators, and we are preparing for our first in-human trials within the next 2 years.
Thank you, Dr. Ng. And I think we have a question from Cheni of Polaris Partners. Do we have a question? Oh, no, okay. We have a question now from Ling Wan of Enterprise Singapore, please.
Thanks a lot, Natasha. So just now you mentioned that you are better than your competitors in terms of manufacturing scalability as well as immune acceptance, right? So do you have actually results to show that, and actually what is the technology underpinning for this superior performance?
For the manufacturing capabilities, our entire process from end to end, including the expansion of the stem cells and the entire islet differentiation process, is conducted in a 3D culture system. So this is clearly different from some of the competitors who are doing adherent cell cultures or requiring microcarriers or requiring a series of dissociation and reaggregation steps. So that's something that we understand. And the second one, for the immune acceptance, we have done we are in the process of doing a large-scale screening in which we are selecting a very specific gene combination that allows broad immune acceptance. So this is still in progress, but what's different is also we have a few specific sites in the genome through which we insert these genes for very high efficiency expression, pretty much 100% expression, and this is safe and stable in a stem cell differentiation process.
We've got about a minute 15 left. Dr. Buzz from Synthesis Capital, please.
Great, a really quick question. A couple of years ago, another iPS cell islet study was done in preclinical, resulting in multiple teratoma formations. Do you see this in your preclinical studies?
Our preclinical studies need to be absolutely validated to have no teratoma formation. So we have two ways to combat that. One is there is a safety switch that we are working on in the cell lines itself. And then the second is during the in-process development and also the release criteria, we need to do a very highly sensitive qPCR process to evaluate that there's no off-target or residual stem cells.
We've got about 40 seconds left. Dr. Pauline of NHIC, please.
So just a very quick question. I saw in your competitor assessment, Vertex. To our knowledge, Vertex is probably the only one so far that has received FDA approval for clinical trials. How are you going to compare with this? I mean, they're so ahead.
Yes, that's a good question. Vertex is in phase 3 trials, and they're the leaders in terms of the trial landscape from FDA, but their therapy is based on embryonic stem cells, and they need immunosuppression for these patients. So the patient indication is really the most severe brittle type 1 diabetes, which is a very limited patient population. So we're hoping to, of course, improve on the technology and also be able to reach more patients.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Sorry, judges. Thank you, judges. Once again, Dr.
Thank you.
Peter Life. Thank you. All right, next up to pitch for Birmingham Biomed, please welcome Professor Liam Grover. Hello, Prof. Grover. Are you all psyched?
Yeah, I'm psyched. I'm psyched.
3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm delighted to be here today to talk about the mission of our company, Birmingham Biomed, which is actually to achieve a drug-free approach to mucosal health and to address many diseases before they actually start. So why are we taking this particular approach? Well, the mucosa in the body is the front line. It's the first stage of defense against things like pathogens that come in, and the vast majority of viral infections and so on, they progress through the mucosa. So it makes sense to actually produce products that can augment and help create a drug-free approach to this. Now, the mucosa is incredibly important biologically, and actually when things go wrong with it, the actual result of that can be incredibly debilitating. So you can have certain mild conditions such as dry eye, which people can cope with relatively simple treatments, but actually there are much more severe conditions such as those shown behind me that affect a very large number of people around the world. And at the moment, the only treatment for these conditions are the repeat application of steroids or antibiotics, which cause tissue thinning or actually can cause issues ultimately with microbial resistance. Currently, there are a range of products that have been developed to help with mucosal health, to try and improve them and try and increase the barrier function. The problem is the vast majority of those products don't perform particularly well clinically, and people don't like to use them. So the major advance that we have made within my lab at the University of Birmingham, that we've spun out to Birmingham Biomed, is a way to produce a very high viscosity product that will spray very effectively and then lie within the nose, covering about 6 times the area of currently available sprays. When you spray this 3 times, you get complete coverage within the nose, and the thing that is most impressive is once it sits in place on the nasal mucosa. It interacts with the mucosa and locks in and sits there over a period of 6 hours, over which it will block viral infection. And we've shown also that it blocks particulate pollution and pollen, meaning it has potential to be used elsewhere. Now, the product that we developed within my laboratory was first launched in Singapore in 2022 in response to the COVID pandemic, or the post-COVID. It has sold, despite our worries about COVID reducing, it's sold significantly. And last year we sold around £2 million worth of product. We've been highly lauded within the biotech community. And now we want to move towards having a whole series of new products, again, all of which address the issues of mucosal health. So we have an experienced team who are here to help deliver the technology. And what we're looking for is to move our technology into other mucosal conditions and to set up a launch pad from Singapore.
That's all the time we have, Prof. Grover. Well, we do have 4 minutes on the clock, and we're going to head to the judges for some questions now. We have a question from Dr. Wong of CHI, please.
All right, thank you. So mucosal therapeutics is not too new. You've got some competitors like Viral Ease, Nasal-Fed, etc., and maybe even Vicks and Vaseline. So you mentioned it's something being different. How are you different from them?
So the principal difference is the comfort. So when we designed this product, we actually got all of the existing commercially available products. And we found, actually, we ran a small trial on patients, and we found that people didn't like to use them. They're very uncomfortable. One of the reasons they're uncomfortable is they don't spray. They form a single polymer stream. It hits the back of the nose and it rolls down. The technology we've developed allows us to produce a fine mist, and that's what really locks in. And that's what means that ultimately our customers come back and buy time and time again.
Okay. And also, you've sort of started off with a retail pharmacy, and you've got aims to go into population health and prevention. So how do you intend to do that?
Yeah, so we've initially started selling through pharmacy, which we've had very good results with so far. What we're looking to do now is to expand it and expand it into specific medical conditions that can be prescribed. So actually, we would like it to be delivered through the health services. In order to do that, we need to gather the data that will allow us to actually make claims about the product that will allow us to specialize.
One last question, sorry. So you've got the eye product, which is at the moment for dry eyes. Why haven't you sort of moved into conjunctivitis or infections as well?
Yes, so at the moment that's a regulatory picture. So dry eye requires the use of lubricant. A lubricant is a medical device. If we start incorporating drugs into it, it takes it up to a whole different level of regulation.
We've got about 2 minutes left. Judges, do we have another question? Najiwan of Nova Holdings, please.
Yeah, you said that you're moving to other modalities, but the team seems to be light on the medical expertise. How do you think to beef up the team from here? Because if you see the team, they are more on the delivery method and nasal sprays and everything. But does the team have the enough expertise and the talent to go into different modalities?
So the team that I presented on the slides, that's the core team. But we work with KOLs in each individual area. So for example, in the development of ocular therapeutics, we work with a guy called James Wolfson, who's present in Aston, and a leading ocular surface clinician called Cyros, who's also in Birmingham. So we build teams around the different products, depending upon what expertise is required.
We've got about 1:10 left. Dr. Yo of A-Star, you have a question?
Yeah, good presentation. Can I ask you, I think yours is more like a formulation platform. Would you like to see partnering with pharma companies to deliver their drugs?
Yeah, that's something that we would see as a revenue stream in the future, actually, because of the high levels of mucoadhesion. Delivery into the brain should be a no-brainer, if you like. But actually, we want to keep selling our own products. We want to go into different areas. But actually, if we're able to use our technology to help people deliver, we'd be very happy with co-development.
We've got 45 seconds left. Dr. Buzz from Synthesis Capital. Quick one, please.
Super quick. Which countries in APAC region are you looking at entering?
Okay, so at the moment, we're already in China, and we have approval in Singapore and Thailand as well. We would like to move into Vietnam, and we've had discussions around that. And if we get we've had the approval in Singapore, we would like to go to Australia too.
I think we do not have time left. Thank you, judges, for the question. Thank you once again, Prof. Grover.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, our startup representing Crescent. Please welcome on stage Dr. Boan Choi. Hello, Dr. Choi.
Thank you.
Hands there.
All right.
Are you ready?
Hopefully.
You got this.
Okay.
Your 3 minutes starts now.
Right. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Bo from Crescent. So today, let's talk about the surgery. Actually, there are just only two groups in the world. One is a medical professional or patient. And statistics say everyone here today will undergo one or more surgical experience in your lifetime. Of course, as a patient. And the matter is, modern surgery rely on electrosurgery, cutting and coagulating your tissue with a very high temperature over 300 degrees C. It creates toxic surgical smoke, equal to smoking 30 cigarettes a day for medical professionals. And also, it burns your tissue, so delay your recovery time more than 2 weeks. And this high temperature issue has not been solved for the last century. At Crescent, our mission is very simple. We want to make surgery safer for everyone by lowering surgical temperature at below 100 degrees C with our product DuoBlade, which means less smoke and less damage and faster recovery. Okay. Every year, globally, there are more than 300 million single-use electrosurgical handpieces are consumed in the market. Crescent will continue transforming that devices into a DuoBlade by starting 1 million United States market. For the last year, we have validated our business model in the United States through real cases with the surgeons and hospitals. And now we are planning to reach 500 hospitals by 2030 to secure 10% of the United States market. DuoBlade is protected by over 20 patents and cleared FDA 510K. And most important thing is it is proven from the over 700 real clinical cases. It is now an honoree for 2026 CES Innovation Award. Crescent will continue to bring new innovation into the market. We are structuring global business. We have our base of the manufacturing and development in Korea, and we have our primary revenue market in the United States. And today, I'm here in Singapore, which is the new center for our global journey. Okay, we have a team which have a leadership in the development, operation, and the go-to-market for the United States. And I'm here to looking for a new partner and new investors who are willing to share the same vision. Thank you very much for your time and attention. By the way, we have a booth over there at 19, so please drop by and have a surgical innovation for yourself. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Choi.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got 4 minutes now with the judges. We're going to reset the clock, and we've got our first question from Dr. Buzz of Synthesis Capital.
A great presentation, thank you. What are the limits of your technology with the reduction in temperature? Are there any tissue types or surgical procedures that you cannot do or are less effective?
Sorry, I didn't catch the, is that the limitation of our technology?
In terms of surgical procedures.
Okay. So our technology and also our device for the open surgery, it is designed for the general surgery from the orthopedic to the OBGYN. So actually, our real customers in the United States, they are using the DuoBlade for the electrophysiology and oncology and the plastic surgery and orthopedic surgeries as well. So we are confident that our technology has no such a limitation. So the best thing is our product can be 100% plug and play into the traditional generator in the operation room.
We have a question from Chenny of Polaris Partners, please.
Hi. Thanks very much for the presentation. I wanted to ask if you have any evidence around improved outcomes for the surgical staff as well as for the patients. Is it in terms of surgical outcomes and so on? And then my other question is, who are you thinking of marketing this to, and who will be buying this? Is it health systems or what? Thank you.
All right. So for the first question, yes, we have a preclinical result. We actually conducted 3 clinical research with the Seoul National University in hospital in Korea and also the facilities in the United States as well. So the outcomes that we presented today, reduction of the smoke and reduction of the thermal damage, it is already proven from the scientific data and it is now published as a journal. And also the second question, we have an actual customer who is a surgeon and the buyers for the medical facilities. So as you said, there are a bunch of types of customers. So we are counting our customers in our primary market in the United States, single surgeons who are having a decision making in the ambulatory surgical center, and the surgeons or relevant parties who are in the hospital, and also the government facilities as well. Those are our customers.
We've got 1:30 left. Frederick of MedTech Innovator has a question.
Quick question, good presentation. Can you tell us a bit about your competitors here? Do you have any direct competitors working in the same space? And maybe expand a bit about your IP portfolio and what that looks like.
Okay. So, well, there are 2 or 3 competitors in the market, which is a very best thing because there are only 3 players that we can share our market. So one is the famous competitor is Medtronic. They have a product named Plasma Blade, and Johnson & Johnson, which is Atchicon, they have a Ace Blade 700, and Stryker having a Photon Blade. But the problem is those 2 competitors who are Medtronic and Johnson & Johnson, they're requiring dedicated generator for reducing thermal damage, which costs about 50,000 United States dollar, which is quite a burden for the some clinics and especially for the Asian market as well. And the Stryker's one, they are compatible with the traditional generator. However, their temperature is still high, 200 degrees C. So Crescent's purpose is to making one single device that can deliver low temperature dissection and full compatibility with the traditional generators and less smoke, less thermal damage.
Unfortunately, judges, that's all the time we have. Thank you, judges. Once again, Dr. Choi of Crescent.
Thank you.
감사합니다. All right, next up, representing Dolbom Dream, please welcome Peter Yu. You can scream louder.
Yeah.
Hi, Peter.
Hello,
Are
hello.
you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 3 minutes starts now.
Appreciate for all this opportunity. Hello, I am Peter from a Korean startup, Dolbom Dream. And Dolbom means to care, and dream means to give in Korean. To give care is our goal. More than 30% of senior deaths are caused from late detection of sudden incidents, such as heart stroke or fall. But there are only a few people to watch over these problems. To ensure early detection and healthcare monitoring, we developed Carely, a healthcare monitoring system for seniors. Our proprietary sensor can be embedded into wearables to collect data such as heartbeat, respiration, and GPS. These collected data is then securely transmitted to our centralized monitoring platform to provide emergency and fall alert notifications. Also, the biometrics and GPS can be seen in real time. And let's see how it works.
Carely offers a complete ecosystem of connected health devices. These sensors measure heart rate, respiration, HRV, steps, and location in real time. The technology used here, pneumatic ballistic cardiography, is a non-invasive way to measure microvibrations from the body. Carely is not just a device, it's a predictive, non-invasive care infrastructure.
And we aim to become a global leading company in non-invasive sensor market, which is size of a $9.4 billion. What differentiates Kelly from others is that it is non-invasive and can be used outdoors. Also, we can provide third-party services and is linked to emergency centers. Our customers include government agencies, seniors, silver towns, and nursing homes. Also, we have some offline markets and e-commerce as well. We are now using a subscription model which includes device, platform, and AI analysis starting from $30 per month. Since our first launch on 2023, we are growing fast in both users and in revenue. To achieve IPO in Korean stock market on 2028, we are working steadily in Korea and overseas. With a CTO who is an expert in sensor development and a CEO recognized in social impact by Forbes 30 Under 30, we have both technology and visions. And this is not just for seniors. It can be used in other sectors such as construction workers and vehicle drivers, robots, and even pets. Thank you very much for listening. Please join us in redefining the future of senior care.
Thank you, Peter, for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We have 4 minutes now with the judges. Time starts now. Judges, do we have a question? I think Ling Wan of Enterprise Singapore, please.
Yep. Thanks a lot for the sharing. I think you mentioned about the difference in terms of the sensor technology, but the services that you seems to offer seems to be pretty much the same as what many others are offering out there. Or is there something different in the services you offered?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. And what we are trying to offer is a package of care service. So by our subscription model, there is price difference between 30, 60, and 90. And if you subscribe a higher model for the subscription model, then we deploy our care manager employee to the locations of the users. So therefore, higher care can be provided.
We've got a question now from Ansem of Clavis Bio.
One of the key issues in this space is false alarms. Could you talk about your product and the precision of this?
Oh, okay. So by analyzing the heart, the micro vibration of the body, there is some waves that distinguishes from respiration, heartbeat, and noise. So we have this AI technology to distinguish all those waves into other things. And also our GMU sensor can tell whether a person is picking up a thing or he or she is falling.
We've got our next question from Steve of Halion.
Thank you. So really interesting. Could you explain the benefit that your sensor technology has over the sort of mass market wearables? My thinking being that those products are widely available, low cost, and can be integrated into services similar to what you have.
Yeah, thank you very much for your valuable questions. And what differentiates ours to commonly used wearables such as smartwatches or smart rings are that as our target is seniors over than 70s, 80s, they have this difficulty using the smartwatch or smart ring UI UX, and also some people feel that it is uncomfortable, and some people have allergies to the direct skin touch. But ours do not need its direct skin touch, and also our sensor can be embedded into other form factors such as mattress or pillows, cushions.
We've got a minute left. Navjiwan from Nova Holdings, please.
So you have showed only the one side, the people who are the users of this particular equipment. But what about the other side? When this generates the data or the alarms, do we assume that the other side also needs to be on that platform, like the doctors or the ER responders or something like that? How do you make them adopt this technology or integrate this into their systems?
Thank you for the great question. Actually, we are giving out our IDs, passwords, for them to monitor these patients. So also we can have their data embedded into our platform too.
what is their incentive to use this one? What is their incentive to use this technology or be on this platform?
So you can have lower cost on the employees to monitor over the patient or the users if they adopt our technology. Yeah.
I think that's all the time we have. Thank you very much. Peter, once again, from Dolbom Dream. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Our next startup to pitch right here at the Slingshot Finals. Please welcome Dr. Louis Piepoli for Gießen Biotech. Hello, Dr. Piepoli. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, 3 minutes begins now.
Absolutely. We're on the brink of the biggest transformation in healthcare history. I am a physician and a former McKinsey consultant where I helped companies like Abbott and Medtronic prepare for the revolution of at-home and consumer-centric healthcare. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Unlike in the past, 90% of the conditions that we see today are chronic in nature. Patients live longer and they require treatment and monitoring for decades. Take this example. Every day in Singapore, 6 people are diagnosed with kidney failure. They will need 10 tests per year for decades to come. And those can only be performed inside a lab. Meanwhile, the innovation market is divided between wearable solutions that track surface metrics or complex lab equipment to look into the deeper insights. It doesn't work because it's not focusing on the patient. Until now, we have developed a device that delivers lab-grade precision at home, and it can deliver a full kidney function panel in minutes. We're different by optimizing for both precision and ease of use, by leveraging the accuracy of graphene biosensors with microfluidics and microelectronics to give it a consumer-friendly use. We've filed for 4 patents, 1 was already granted. We've published 13 peer-reviewed articles, done a preclinical validation with Roche, and a large clinical study to prove our accuracy and sensitivity. All of this led to the FDA giving us breakthrough device designation and an expedited pathway to clearance. I'm lucky to work with some of the smartest people I've met in my life. My co-founder is ranked in the top 2% by Stanford University, and my CSO is an MIT innovator under 35. I'm a second-time founder, and not too long ago, I was a patient myself. We have turned paid pilots into LOIs into revenue with 2 major pharma companies in the US and have deployed over 2,000 devices across the country. We're focusing on kidney disease because it is a high-volume repeat testing market that will benefit from our consumable model. We're expanding our technology to become the testing infrastructure of the future. And lastly, I wanted to ask you 2 questions. 1, do you believe that the future of healthcare will be at home? And 2, do you believe that Singapore will be the place where that future becomes a reality? I do, and if you do too, I hope we can count with your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Piepoli. We have 4 minutes now with the judges. Let's go to the judges. Do we have a first question from Dr. Yeo of A-Star, please?
Good presentation. Can I know your pricing strategies and how do you ensure affordability for the patients?
Absolutely. Thank you. Basically, we have priced the device on the hardware and the testing cartridge. I'll say this very quickly. The device will actually lease. Initially, we'll give it for free to capture market share. And the cartridges we've actually priced compared to what it actually costs today for a patient and the insurer mostly to get the blood test done at a centralized lab. So I'll be happy to talk a little bit more about that, but roughly you get 4 uses with this device and it costs about $90. So that's the pricing strategy. There are CPT codes available for reimbursement and we plan to piggyback a little bit on those until we get our own.
I've got a question from Ansem of Cladis Bio.
You talked about the paid pilots. Could you talk about what were the deliverables in converting them to sales?
Yeah, you asked about the deliverables of the paid pilot, right?
That's right.
Yes, with Roche, what I'm at liberty to say was that they wanted to test the outcomes of cardiometabolic patients when at-home diagnostics was used with one of their drugs specifically. With the clinical trial from AstraZeneca, that's related to Jardiance, their kidney disease drug, and how companion diagnostics could improve the outcomes of personalized dosing of that drug. That's, unfortunately, as much as I can say.
We've got 2 minutes left. Now, G1 of Nova Holdings.
So when you do the testing, is that testing accepted by the clinicians, or it is just a sign and when they go to the clinic, they retest by the doctor, or the results are accepted by the clinical fraternity?
Oh, the results are accepted by the clinic and by the physicians. Okay. And if I'm sorry, but there's a lot of noise. If I heard correctly, I think that your question was related to whether this requires a retest.
Exactly.
Or if it's we've proven that the accuracy is comparable to the gold standard. So when it comes to physicians accepting that as a final result, we've seen in different congresses that we've gone to that it is actually the accepted science, so it wouldn't require a retest specifically. I'm sorry if I didn't answer the question correctly, but I had a hard time hearing.
We've got a question from Frederick of MedTech Innovator.
Very interesting. Quick question on reimbursement. I think you mentioned it earlier. Did I understand you correctly that you have, there is existing reimbursement, but I also understand that you were talking about potentially obtaining new CPT codes. What is your reimbursement strategy on?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. We're piggybacking on existing CPT codes that cover remote patient monitoring and some specific things on nephrology. But that's not the final answer. We need to go after our own CPT codes, which is what we're doing with the FDA, giving us breakthrough device designation. They're helping us with that. So that's the ultimate goal. I'm sorry, there's a last question.
30 seconds left. Only time for a quick one. Steve of Halion, really quick.
Could you tell me the benefit you have over other at-home kidney diagnostic tests?
Yes, so far there are not a lot of other kidney diagnostics at home, let alone ones that can perform quantitative testing. We give out a concentration, not just positive or negative. So in the market, there's currently nothing similar to this, and that's partly like the advantage of the first movers on a high lifetime value market like the kidney disease space. But I just want to be clear, we're expanding into other applications as well, and the overarching theme is at-home testing with lab-grade precision and quantitative results. I hope that answers the question. Be happy to talk about that more.
Thank you, judges. That's all the time we have. Once again, Dr. Pierre Polly for Giessen Biotech.
Thank you so much.
We are now in the middle of the second of 4 domains for Slingshot. This is the health and biomedical domain. Now, if you're taking pictures and sharing them on social media, show your support for our top 60 global startups. Please tag us at Switch Singapore and hashtag Slingshot 2025. Next up, for High Cura Medical, please welcome Joshua Chen. Hello, Joshua. I love the whole suit.
Thank you.
All right, are you ready?
Yes, great.
Joshua, 3 minutes begins now.
All right. Hi, I'm Joshua from High Cura Medical, and we have developed an AI-driven GPS system for precise needle insertion. And our first use case is in spinal ultrasonography. So there are 76 million spinal procedures being performed annually. This includes epidural and spinal anesthesia and spinal taps. This represents approximately $76 billion in patient spending, and 50% of patients suffer multiple punctures. This could lead to issues such as unintended dural puncture, paresthesia, and puncture hemorrhage. And this is because the pathway for needle insertion is actually very narrow and requires a lot of precision. And if the doctors get it wrong, they have to withdraw the needle and to reinsert the needle. But 90% of clinicians are still using palpation-based techniques, whereby they feel the body for the body's landmarks and try to identify the location for needle insertion. And only 10% of clinicians use ultrasound, and this is because of a steep learning curve. And that's why we have developed USign, our patent-protected plug-and-play medical software that detects spinal landmarks from the hospital's existing ultrasound machine, and to then locate the ideal location and angle for needle insertion. And with that, we have also developed PAMS, our patent-protected medical disposable, which then translates the information found on U-sign and to actual needle insertion. So we have performed multiple clinical studies on over 200 patients to show a drastic improvement in first attempt success rate, especially for obese patients, from 43% to 82%. So this presents potential cost savings and operation optimization for the hospitals. And we have shown tremendous growth since our inception in 2019. In 2023, we launched our products and have since deployed it in many hospitals in Singapore. And also we have deployed in trials in Australia and Germany, and we have been working closely with distributors to really expand our markets, especially in APAC and Europe. And we are currently in our Series A funding stage, and it's going to be used to drive international expansion and expand use cases and technology as well. In 2026, we aim to launch our product in the US, and we plan to break even in 2027 and 2028. And this is a team that is going to make it happen. Besides our core management team, we have a very strong advisory board to ensure that our product is the right fit for the market and clinicians. Thank you, and I hope you can join us in our journey to put smarter care in the hands of clinicians worldwide.
Thank you, Joshua. All right, team. Q&A with the judges, 4 minutes.
Yep.
It starts now, and I do believe with a question from Steve of Halion.
Thank you. With a new technology, there's always a reluctance to adopt.
Yes.
I appreciate you've got the clinical evidence, but have you got that evidence that clinicians really are adopting this, want to use it, and there's that sort of ability to scale?
Right, that's a very good question, and I think that's a very valid point. With any new technology, there's always some resistance. And so, again, we have launched multiple hospitals here in Singapore, and we are also collecting data based on that trials in Singapore, and to really firm up the evidence that clinicians are willing to adopt our solution. And also, we have been to many medical conferences all over the world internationally. And then we have also received many optimistic and interest in our solution and product as well. So again, our network and connection to the hospital in Australia and Germany was because of those conferences, and then from there we have also managed to contact many KOLs that are interested to adopt our product as well.
We've got 2.5 minutes left, and some of Clevis Bio, please.
Can you talk about the learning curve for your users, as well as the impact on the procedural times?
Right. Okay, so for the learning curve, actually studies have shown that to actually pick up this skill in neuroaxial ultrasonography, it requires the physicians to undergo at least 50 to 70 procedures to really get used to it, and use it on actual patients. So ours, we are still undergoing trials to show and to really give evidence to how much that learning time is actually reduced. And for the time savings as well, it's really for the saving time for the multiple punctures. If the doctors have to keep having to reinsert that needle, it's going to take a long time, especially for that patient. So again, we are doing clinical trials to really prove that reduction in needle puncture times and procedural times. Yep.
We've got 1.5 minutes left. Chris of VentureBlick, please.
Yeah, I've noticed your commercial plan. You talk about Australia, ASEAN, US, but
yes.
I noticed that you are missing Japan, China, Korea. These are the top 3 Asian markets. Any reason that you are not showing anything for Japan, China, Korea, or do you have any plan?
Yes. So for Japan, China, and Korea, the regulatory there is something that we have to navigate. And it's something that we have to be careful about, because as a startup, your resources are tight. You really want to strategically deploy our solution and strategically choose which markets that we are entering. And of course, those are big markets as well. But the US obviously is a huge market, and if we were to enter there, our resources might be a little tighter on other fronts.
We've got 30 seconds. Jenny, Polaris Partners, really quick one.
You mentioned just now the cost savings. I think it was in your presentation,
Yes.
significant cost savings. Can you tell us where those cost savings come from?
Yes, so those cost savings comes from reduction in patient complication rate, as well as also reduction in procedural time in the case whereby the doctors don't need to have to reattempt their puncture multiple times.
That's all the time we have, judges, unfortunately. Thank you. Once again, Joshua of Biomedical. Thank you. Next up, representing iBody, please welcome Yomax Amakusa. Hello.
Hi.
Konbanwa.
Konbanwa.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
3 minutes. The stage is yours.
Hi, I am Max, CEO of iBody from Japan. We transform therapeutics and diagnostics development with our proprietary antibody discovery platform. Antibody to 50 billion US dollars therapeutics, 35 billion diagnostics. Our unique mechanism addresses all of those markets. We already have tractions, large multinational pharma, diagnostics, academics, company outside Japan. Revenue 1 million in 2024. Now their challenge is the antibody discovery with conventional method, difficult targets, functional limitations, and time-consuming process. We provide solution with our innovative approach that integrates single-cell and cell-free antibody expression. We evaluate millions of B cells one by one. From selected B cells, we express antibodies using our cell-free antibody expression with 2 patents. Process without cell culture, ultra-comprehensive. Or in vitro process, world fastest 2 days screening. We unlock antibodies that are impossible to find with traditional methods for diagnostic for therapeutics. Comparison with traditional methods. Better animals like rabbit, alpaca, even human. Again, ultra-comprehensive screening, high diversity, and 2 days screening. I will share one story of Kyushu University. With other method, 5 years, no desired antibodies for cancer diagnostic device development. With us, 3 months success. This is our value. We can break the bottleneck of development. Today, we are CRO service provider, but with technology enhancement, we can reach value inflection point. We can be pipeline company with IP share model. Then scale company value dramatically. This is team. Myself, 20 years in pharma and biotech industry, business development field. Our CSO Shoji, global research experience. Strong advisors in science, in legal. I ensure the success of our journey with this team. Again, we transform therapeutics and diagnostics development with our proprietary antibody platform. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yomax. Now we have 4 minutes with the judges. Time starts now. We have a question from Chris of Venture Blick. Hello.
Yeah, you said you have a $1 million revenue last year. Is that from Japan?
Only from Japan.
And then any other countries the product is available in the near future?
Yeah, now so we started our business expand Japan, outside Japan from last year, and I stayed for about 3 months, 4 months United States last year. And this is the first time to come to Asian market, and I'd like to know how there are opportunity for us in Asian
Are
countries.
you collaborating with any other global diagnostics company to commercialize, or you're doing it alone?
Actually, so far, not global company, but so one of the Japanese biggest diagnostic company called Towns Laboratories. So we provide service for them. They evaluate our deliverables, antibodies. Now they are our strategic partner. They found us. They gave us some business for a year. Yeah.
One last question. The product is approved in Japan, right?
This is not approved. This is a technology, platform technology. We provide antibody discovery service, or we work with collaborative research to discover antibodies that are difficult with conventional one.
Okay.
Got a question from Dr. Pauline of NHIC, please.
Hi, this is quite interesting. I just wonder, right, because you're providing this like a CRO to the large pharma companies. How scalable is it? Like, can you teach them how to use the platform and then they can do the antibody discovery themselves?
Yes, actually, so currently we are CRO, and we can grow organically. But so I said earlier, so now we are technology enhancement. For example, we are trying to discover antibodies against GPCR, more difficult target. For example, sugar chain, it's very difficult target. If we can discover such an antibody against such a difficult target more efficiently, we can be a drug discovery partner of the pharmaceutical company, not CRO, but a partner. In that case, we can receive revenue like a milestone revenue, like a running royalty. We already talked with some pharma company. If we can do so, I believe there are opportunity to change such a business model.
We've got about a minute and a half left. Judges, do we have another question? We have one from David of HSBC, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good presentation.
Thank you.
One of the trends we're reading a lot about is around like computational biology and using in silico drug development for target identification.
Yes.
I'm curious how your model fits into that trend.
Yes, good question. Thank you for your question. So actually we don't have such a technology, but now we are start working with AI company. They have computational antibody structure work, and they need laboratory work, but they do not strong for the laboratory work. So that combination is very complementary, and I believe we can discover more variable antibodies working with partnership with such an AI company. Now we are conducting a feasibility study with such a company in Japan.
We've got about 30 seconds left. Only time for a quick question. And looks like the judges are satisfied. Thank you, judges. Once again, Yomax Amakusa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Okie dokie, we go on fast and furious, pitch after pitch after pitch. And the next one, please welcome for ILOF, Luis Valente. Hello, Luis. Did I say your surname right? Valente? Valente?
Yeah, Valente is fine.
Valente. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, always.
Got this. 3 minutes. Starts now.
Perfect. Thanks so much. Good afternoon. It's really a big pleasure to be here. I'm Luis. I serve as CEO of ILOF. And ILOF is an AI-powered deep tech, health tech company working on the personalized medicine space. We've raised over 10 million from leading investors such as Microsoft Ventures, Mayfield, Remind, and others to severely cut time and cost of developing personalized therapeutics. We're currently working with global pharmas, biotechs, and research institutes to cut the time and the cost of taking life-saving therapeutics into the market. And the reason why that's important is that for the past centuries, new treatments have been developed based on this idea that the same medication works equally for everyone, which we know today is really not the case. And you can take Alzheimer's as a clear example. Just in the last 20 years, more than 400 clinical trials failed, with only one disease-modifying treatment recently approved. And the reasons for that are clear. Complex, heterogeneous diseases such as Alzheimer's are incredibly hard to crack. There was a failure of the one-fits-all drug approach, so you need tools that take the general population and divide it into subparts. And the tools that are currently used in clinical trials are either invasive, difficult to access, or both, leading to over 90% of the patients to drop out of these clinical trials. This creates huge barriers to drug discovery and drug development, and solving these barriers has been the heart and the soul of our mission at ILOF. iLove is pioneering a new level of insights called optomics, where we've been collecting massive amounts of optical and medical data to create a library of biological profiles. And we aim with that to cut severely the time and the cost of selecting the right patients to clinical studies. In our heart, we're integrating very massive volumes of optical and clinical data to create rapid phenotyping and prediction tools. And we're starting by working with some of the biggest pharmas in the world with patient recruitment tools for clinical trials, where we save 70% of the time and 40% of the cost. And we've currently just actually secured an $1.5 million US contract to deploy the platform in over 30 locations in the US and in Canada, with our recurring model built for early impact, with most of the value coming actually from the performance delivered. We're using AI to accelerate the development of novel treatments, and we have more than 10,000 patients in our libraries that allow us to create our accurate models. We're currently exploring with a few pharmas opportunities in Japan, with one contract already secured, and we have decided that Singapore is the right place to set our base. We have a strong team of scientists, entrepreneurs, and inventors based in the UK, New York, and Portugal, with a passion for personalized medicine. So I ask you all to join us as we revolutionize the way we develop personalized treatments, while hopefully also contributing to a better world without Alzheimer's. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to your questions.
See how you try to squeeze everything in. Okay, we've got 4 minutes now with the judges. First up, Navjiwan from Nova Holdings, please.
Yeah, see, for this to succeed, the most important is the data. So how much data you have currently? How are you collecting the data? Do you run your own NGS machines? Can you throw some light on that?
Absolutely. So first of all, we have more than 10,000 patients worth of data across, mostly within neurodegenerative, so Alzheimer's and dementia, but also across lung cancer and ovarian cancer. We've been getting this data through mostly 3 sources. Number one, agreements with pharmas, national biobanks, and running our own clinical studies. We have a clinical study that we've been running, supported by Roche, in over 11 clinical hospitals in Europe alone.
We've got a question from Chris of VentureBlick.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Earlier, you did mention specific pharmaceutical company. You actually named it. Does that mean you actually have an agreement with them? Number one. Number two, these days, just about everybody talk about cloud-based AI-powered research. How far are you ahead of the competitors, or anybody getting closer to you? Can you describe the competitor landscape? Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'll actually start with the last question. So I was personally trained as a computer scientist, and as a computer scientist, you're taught that AI is garbage in, garbage out. So we believe that we stand out from our competitors because of the sheer amount of quality of data that we've been acquiring, and we spent quite a lot of time getting the right deals to also be able to utilize this data, and we've been leveraging this data with a few of our pharmaceutical partnerships. Roche is pretty much well known. We've also recently started doing some things with Johnson & Johnson, and then a couple others in Canada and in Europe.
Do we have another question? We have one from Najivan again from Nova Holdings.
So what do you do exactly? You're just collecting the data, and then you are basically having partnership with the pharma companies, correct?
So
what's the differentiation here? Are you working on that data, or do you have your own proprietary test based on that data?
Yes. So we have a patent portfolio of over 6 patents, most of them granted in locations such as Japan, US, Europe, UK, and basically we have a proprietary pipeline of how we ingest, extract features, and train AI models that basically understand which are the right patients for each clinical study. So to give you an example, this $1.5 million contract that we just recently announced, what we are doing, and we are helping pilot and demonstrate our ability to select the right patients to that clinical study, and we do it based on previously trained data and also based on the requirements of the study itself. And this is how we can cut 40% of the cost and 70% of the time. This is actually a real-life case study with a biotech in the UK, where we are able to move a drug from phase 2 to phase 3 with over 40% less cost and 70% less time based to what they were expecting, which would be the baseline. And we're replicating the same model now on this large clinical study in the US.
We've got about 40 seconds left. Only time for a quick question. Dr. Pauline of NHIC.
Okay, quick question and possibly a rude question. You look like you're doing very well, $10 million, a lot of revenue. Why are you here?
So we've made a decision to explore the Asia-Pacific market. We did that via, for example, the agreement and investment from Amamatsu Ventures, which is a big corporate in Japan. Recently, a small engagement with J&J and a couple of medical centers. We've understood that Singapore is the right place to set our base, but the reality is that our network was elsewhere. So this is the gateway for our expansion in the Asia Pacific, and we really believe that Singapore is the right place for iLove to grow in this region.
Thank you. That's all the time we have. Thank you, judges. Once again, Louis from iLove. Thank you for that. And our next pitch to present, please welcome on stage for Lifescapes, we've got Dr. Masaki Hayashi. Hello. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okie dokie. 3 minutes starts now.
Hi, I'm Masa from Lifescapes, pioneering brain-computer interface technology to restore movement and independence to stroke patients who were once told recovery was impossible. After a stroke, many patients are left with hand paralysis. When the hand becomes clenched and cannot open, it makes daily tasks like dressing, eating, and working impossible, drastically reducing quality of life and personal dignity. However, current methods are not effective for treating hand paralysis, especially in severe cases. Severe hand paralysis impact about 30% of the 100 million stroke cases worldwide, leading to $900 billion in economic losses annually. To address this challenge, we developed a neuromodulation device powered by BCI technology. Through a closed framework combining brain sensing, AI, and robotic feedback, our BCI facilitated the reorganization of the brain, enabling the paralyzed hand to move again, even without a device. Since launching the medical device in Japan last year, we've already treated over 900 patients. One severely impaired patient, who was initially unable to move his fingers at all, regained moderate function after just 2 weeks of visual treatment and continued with 4 additional weeks of therapy. He is now able to write and eat using his previously paralyzed hand, significantly improving his daily life. 2 BCI devices have already been launched as medical devices in Europe and the US. While competing products require 12 weeks training period, our device achieves better results in just 2 to 4 weeks. Furthermore, our device is easier to use, setting up in half the time and lower cost than competing products. We have 2 main revenue streams, selling devices to hospitals and planning direct-to-consumer services for home use. In Japan, we launched a year ago, and we already sold over 50 units to hospitals, generating $1 million in revenue. We aim to expand this technology to 8,000 rehabilitation facilities in Southeast Asia, reaching to 9.2 million stroke cases. Our team combines neuroscience researchers and healthcare business builders. We are turning our 15 years of research into real-world impact. Recently, we won Chisel Healthcare in March and are now advancing a test bed project with NUH. Our goal is to restore not only physical function, but also their independence, jobs, and dignity. With IBCI technology, we envision a future where paralysis no longer limits potential. Together, let's make the vision a reality and transform millions of lives. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hayashi. Okie dokie. Ready for the Q&A?
Yep.
4 minutes. We're going to restart the clock. Here we go. Judges, who'd like to go first? We've got a question from David for HSBC.
Yeah, thank you. So often stroke has other comorbidities that come with it, other areas that are paralyzed beyond just the hand. When you think about your technology in the brain sensing and software, is it applicable to other areas of the body that may be suffering from paralysis, and why just the hand?
Yes, it's applicable for other body parts, including shoulder and walking. For proximal muscle, we target not only distal muscle like hand, proximal muscle including shoulder and the elbow, we already apply to those body parts. And also, we can also apply gait ability. So each body part corresponded into each brain region. So when we rotate the position of the electrode, we can measure the activity reflecting each body part.
Thank you for that. And we've got a question from Dr. Wong of CHI.
Could you tell us more about your clinical data? How have these functional changes led to improvement in quality of life, especially?
Thank you. Since we started the clinical research 2011, we conducted a lot of clinical research showing, for example, changes in the brain activity, and the second level, the change in the muscle activity. And lastly, the improvement in the finger motion and quality of life. So to evaluate the quality of life, we should see the sustained effect more than 6 months or 1 year from stop interventions. But we observed the significant improvements in quality of life scale after our intervention.
We've got a question now from Ling Wan of Enterprise Singapore.
Can I just write on your earlier point? So you were saying that after a period of use, the effect can last for a year before it starts to degrade again?
Yeah.
Is it a continuous usage that is required?
Yeah, so generally speaking, rehabilitation should be always applied to patients to maintain their functional ability higher. But in our case, we see a sustained effect, which means carry-over effect beyond 6 months or 1 year. But if we can, I recommend continuous rehabilitation is needed to maintain the ability.
We've got about a minute left. Frederick of MedTech Innovator has a question.
Just a quick question. It's a relatively crowded space, this. What can you tell us a bit about your IP portfolio and what your patents cover?
Yes. We hold 24 patents, designs, and trademarks related to our wearable easy sensor, robots, and software. Among these, 4 key patents are already filed under PCT applications. But in software, we do not disclose much more.
We've got about 35 seconds left or so. A quick one from Dr. Pauline of NHIC.
Okay, maybe you can tell us how it really looks like, not like in the slide. Is there like these things that you have to put on your head and then it goes to a laptop and then with a robotic arm?
Yeah.
What does your prototype look like?
Yeah, the product configuration, which you can see in the slide, is a final product, and we compile the headset device and robotic device and computer to analyze the brain waves, all in the suitcase and all on the desk, and we can use everywhere and every time, regardless in hospitals.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have. Thank you, judges. Once again, Dr. Hayashi of Lifescapes.
Thank you.
And next up, representing Loop Diagnostics, please welcome Juan Vieira. Did I butcher your name?
That was good.
All right, John, are you ready?
1 second. There we go.
Okay,
Ready.
3 minutes starts now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Juan, and I'm here to talk about one of the deadliest conditions in the world, sepsis. Sepsis kills 11 million people every year and is the #1 cause of death in US hospitals. Good news is, it can be treated, but every hour that we don't give treatment, the chances of survival plummet down. And despite knowing this, 21% of septic patients are diagnosed more than 24 hours late. How can that be? The reason is simple. Current diagnostics don't work because they measure either signs of infection or organ damage, which appear in late-stage sepsis. It's like trying to diagnose cancer by finding metastasis. At Loop, we identified an indicator of early-stage sepsis, host immune response. And we build a device, the Septiloop device, to measure that. So let me show you how it works. You just need to mix 1 milliliter of blood sample of the patient with 1 milliliter of this reagent that stimulates the immune cells in the blood. And then use a lateral flow strip to analyze the response and give you a positive, negative result for sepsis. As simple as that. And this technology is covered by our IP portfolio. The device has been validated in more than 600 patients, showing 3 times more sensitivity, 10% reduced mortality, and reduced length of stay. These clinical results have granted us regulatory approval in both the EU and the UK. In addition, these results outmatch any sepsis product that is currently out there because we're the only ones that can detect every phase of sepsis while keeping our technology very low cost. The sepsis screening market is massive, being $3 billion in Europe only and $8 billion in Europe plus Asia Pacific. So to penetrate this market, our model is direct sales through medical device distributors that already have a sales network present. And through this model, we have already presence in Europe and we're gaining presence in new countries. After Europe, we want to increase our manufacturing volumes to reduce costs, and Asia Pacific is just the right target because of its high volumes of testing, low entry barriers, and perfect product market fit. This year, we got regulatory approval and started generating revenue, and in the coming years, we want to grow and expand into new markets. All of that so that by 2028, we can become an interesting acquisition opportunity. The founding team is composed by Enrique, PhD in immunology and infectious diseases, Edu, with experience in big pharma, and myself, with training at Stanford University in biodesign. And we're advised by a board of serial entrepreneurs in vitro diagnostics, as well as key opinion leaders in sepsis. So if you're interested, please reach out because we have a funding round open. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Juan. And we have 4 minutes with the judges now. Time is going to be reset. There we go. And judges who would like to go first. I think we've got from Dr. Wong from CHI.
Right, John. So the performance seems good, but I can't see how are you going to fit this into a care model. What have you done to actually target particular groups of patients? How have the hospitals been actually using it? Because by right, early sepsis is very, very nebulous. So which patients are we using this on?
Yeah, I have one appendix slide, if I can go to that. There we go. So right now, emergency department physicians would be the ones to use this technology. Their current tools are using clinical scores called QSOFA or NEWS. Normally, sepsis is considered when QSOFA is higher than 2 or NEWS higher than 5. But we know that many, many patients, up to 80% of NEWS or QSOFA scores even lower, still will develop a sepsis. But there's no way for doctors to tell which ones will and which ones won't. So this is our use case. In these patients where the NEWS score is low, they add the Septiloop test and they can tell which ones will develop and which ones won't develop the sepsis.
So they still have to undergo that first before Septiloop comes in, or are you advocating Septiloop as a broader screening sort of mechanism?
So this is just a general scoring system. They will just evaluate things like heart rate, blood pressure, things that you would normally do to any patient. And they will just raise the question of, is there a sepsis or not, that's when the Septiloop will come in.
We have about 2 minutes and 10. Chris of VenturePlick, please.
So are you already generating revenue in Europe? Is that correct?
Yes, this year.
What you said is assuming all reliable and true, and then you are showing the price comparison with competitors. Yours is in tens of euros, but competitors showing 100 plus even 1,000. Yeah, that means they're like 10 times even, a lot more than that. So, is that real? And then, what was the revenue?
So, the cost of the other products is based on, depending on which product. So yeah, some of them cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and that's why they're seeing a lot of entry barriers to the market. Because if you want to use this for almost every patient that jumps into the ED with a headache and a high fever, you cannot afford to spend thousands of dollars in every screening patient for sepsis, right? So that's one of the biggest barriers that they're facing. And sorry, your second question was?
The cost is considerably cheaper than the other competitors, but then I was expecting much higher revenue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so we just got regulatory approval. Yeah, just 2 months ago. So we haven't been able to scale up the revenue just yet. That's mainly why the revenue hasn't been able to scale.
Right.
To ramp.
One other thing that I want to say is that sepsis awareness in Asia is also quite high. Japan, Korea, China.
Yes.
I am actually aware of multiple companies in Korea and China developing something looking quite similar to yours, just for your information. Yeah. So you should try to collaborate or learn about it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If you want to reach out, I'd love to hear more. Thank you.
We've got about 30 seconds left. Only time for a really quick question. I think the judges look pretty satisfied. Thank you, judges. Once again, Juan from Loop Diagnostics. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, next up, representing Nala Genetics, please welcome Lavana Sani. Hi, Lavana. Nervous?
Yes, all good.
Don't be, you'd be great. Okay, 3 minutes, you ready?
Yes, of course.
Time starts now.
Hi, everybody. My name is Levi. I'm the co-founder and CEO for Nala Genetics. It's good to see some familiar faces here. We do genetic interpretation for preventive care. I built this company because of my grandfather. He could have been saved if he received the right dosage for his beta blocker, but instead he got polypharmacy, he got Parkinsonism, which eventually led to his death. Although personalized medicine today can save a lot of lives, about 8% of hospital admissions today, it is still lacking in adoption. And physicians, every time we speak to them, always ask us, why should we test? Who do I test? And what do I do after testing? And so that's why we built Nala Clinical Decision Support. It is an end-to-end testing platform. It is not just a service platform because we built patient selection into the electronic health record system. We built an AI-powered pre- and post-test counseling because genetic counseling is a big bottleneck in this part of the world. We do, of course, sample analysis from buccal swab or blood, and then also knowledge base updates. Because genetic discovery, hundreds and publications come out every year, we want to make sure clinical utility is maximized for each test. We do this not only for genetic testing for personalized medicine. We do this for personalized screening, especially in cardiovascular and breast cancer, personalized nutrition, and personalized lifestyle as well. Right now is the right time to invest in genetic testing. Why? Because 80% of Asian countries have invested in population genome projects, including Singapore, or are about to invest. This creates an understanding of a bedrock, how genetic screening will be a part of daily practice moving forward. Of course, we all know also that COVID testing have exploded the number of genetic offerings, especially in traditional lab testing as well. We are the right team to address this opportunity because we're a spin-off from Genome Institute of Singapore, and we've built a collaboration with regional key opinion leaders to ensure that our market offerings is exactly what the market needs. If the market size is correct, and this is always the tricky bit, 30% of the population today should be receiving genetic testing. And this is based on the indications that all these guidelines all the doctors are following. Unfortunately, only 1% today gets tested. And to make sure that this onboarding process gets so easy that every physician would like to try at least to get a genetic test, all you need to do is schedule a demo, get onboarded in 1 to 2 weeks, get a pilot phase if you need to customize anything about our report, and then finally pay an annual license. If you're a lab or a hospital system, you can pay per report, or you can pay per analysis if you don't have access to a lab test. So far, we have onboarded researchers and labs, some names that you might be familiar here as well in Singapore, hospital and provider partners. In fact, we're the only genetic test that is covered by one of the private insurances today, and then also partnered with sequencing and community partners.
Unfortunately, Lavana, I'm going to stop you there. That's all the time we have for the pitch. But we do have 4 minutes Q&A with the judges. Timer has begun. Judges, we have Dr. Buzz of Synthesis Capital.
A great, lovely pitch. Thank you so much. A quick question. How do you ensure the accuracy and clinical viability of your testing in such a diverse population?
That's a great question. We partner with population genome projects. So in Singapore, we partner with Precise, where we validate the algorithms for Chinese, Malay, and Indian population. In Europe, we partner with UK Biobank. In the US, we partner with All of Us. So all these population genome projects want to use and validate Nala's algorithm because at the end, they get a validated, customized pipeline that they can deploy within their own countries as well. So we partner with them because they have the largest data set and they have the partner for national hospitals as well.
We have a question from Chenny of Polaris Partners.
Hi. Thanks very much for your presentation. Tell us more about who your customers are, who's paying, and what the reimbursement landscape is.
Of course. So for researchers, different business models for all these three partners. So researchers and labs pay us in a contract format. So the pilot phase generally is about $20,000, and then the licensing phase is about $25,000 to $200,000, depending on the complexity, either electronic health record integration, customization, or even a custom mobile app that sometimes they want to use. For hospitals and provider partners, they pay per test for us. So the price for the test is about $200 to $400 usually. And then for sequencing and community partners, they help us distribute our software. So generally, they don't pay for our software, but they actually introduce their partners, which has thousands of install base all over the world, to use our software because we are able to localize and customize pipelines based on cohort insights in diverse population, which we are known for.
But is it still largely out of pocket and not reimbursable?
So right now for pharmacogenomics, it is about to be reimbursed by Singlife. And it is about to be reimbursed by a lot of private institutions, but so far all of it is still using research grant funding or out of pocket.
We've got about a minute 45 left. Frederick of MedTech Innovator.
Great presentation, thank you. How much money have you raised so far, and what sort of revenue are you looking at this year?
Yeah, so we have raised about 12.5 million USD, and our revenue ARR right now is 1.5. We're looking to close the year with 2 million.
Do we have any more questions? We've got one from Navjiwan for Nova Holdings, please.
So who does your NGS testing? Do you have your own machines, or do you send the test out for the testing, the sample out for testing?
Yes, and as you may know, actually the market is very cost competitive, so we don't actually run our own lab. We work with partner labs. So for example, in Singapore, we work with Tan Tock Seng. In Indonesia, we work with RS Bunda Diagnose Lab. We also work with an Indian lab for some sequencing. What they do, what they all have in common, is they use our software. So one of the key reasons why they use our software, for example, for risk prediction for cardiovascular disease, is because our algorithm is better than others. We combine polygenic, monogenic, and clinical risk scores such that we're able to identify 2 times to 15 times more individual than standard FH test alone, or familial hypercholesterolemia test alone. So that's how we essentially want to innovate in this space. We outsource the wet lab, we build the best algorithm possible for diverse population, and we partner as much as possible.
These 30 seconds left for a really, really, really quick question. Do we have one, or are we good? I think the judges are good. Thank you, judges. Once again,
so much.
Lavana, thank you. Lavana for Nala Genetics. Next up, we've got Physiologas Technologies. Please welcome Kaz Miyawaki. Hello, Kaz.
Hello.
You ready?
Not really.
You have to be 頑張って。
はい、頑張ります。はい、ありがとうございます。
So 3 minutes starts now.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kaz, CEO of Physiologas Technologies. We are developing compact waterless hemodialysis system to give dialysis patients back their life. Today, over 10 million patients worldwide suffer from end-stage renal disease. Patients take treatment, mostly rely on in-center hemodialysis, 4 hours per session, 3 times per week. This is exhausting, inflexible, and makes full-time work or travel almost impossible. Home hemodialysis can make short daily treatment. Although clear benefits exist, only a few % of dialysis patients are taking hemodialysis at home. That's the reason why we are developing next generation home dialysis system, which is very compact, easy, and safe to fit home usage. We use dialysis regeneration system. This eliminates water usage by over 300 liters, sometimes tons per treatment, and drastically simplifies the device. With our very first prototype, we've conducted live animal tests and validated the efficacy and safety of our technological principles. So our innovation will transform dialysis modality and accessibility. It improves patients' quality of life while cutting clinic congestion and healthcare costs. Also, patients can get back to workforce, giving tremendous economic and social impact. Unlike other products already in the market, our system does not require plumbing, which makes our system very compact and patient-friendly for installation, operation, and maintenance. Our beachhead is working-age patients. Most of dialysis patients are unemployed, and our primary target are these who have strong intention to get back to workforce with our solution. Additionally, by eliminating water dependency, we can provide life-saving treatment to unserved populations. So we can potentially double the market size by delivering treatment to these people. Therefore, our business development strategy is product conversion, modality conversion, and new market creation. We are working on final prototype to conduct non-clinical tests and expect to be in the market in 2030. Our technology is based on research from Kenichi, who is a leading expert in dialysis. Myself and our CEO bring deep business expertise from international companies. We are also recognized and supported from international organizations as well. Currently, we are raising $10 million to complete prototype for non-clinical trial. This round is led by Lotte Holdings, and we are looking for follow investors for this round. So Physiologas is not just a product. This is a movement to bring freedom and dignity to millions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kaz. Okie dokie. 4 minutes with the judges. Time starts now. We've got Najiban for Nova Holdings.
Do you think your TAM will get affected once the use of GLP drugs pick up? At 2030, I mean, do you think your TAM analysis will be affected once the GLP drug usage picks up? 2030 might be too late because by that time I think GLP drugs will be more standardized use of treatment.
Yeah, actually, once the patients get into the dialysis, it won't affect at all. So I think that the time, treatment time won't be changed for that. Is that answer your question or?
I'm just asking. I mean, you're basically taking people who are diabetics moving to dialysis.
Yeah, dialysis, yes.
So if the GLP drugs pick up, what I'm saying is, does the diabetes patient, the move from a normal diabetic patient to dialysis will slow down?
Yes, that's another stuff. So I think if the drug works, it changes, I believe.
I hope it works.
Yeah.
Oh, it does work. Second question is in terms of consumables.
Yes.
How does at home, how does the patient get rid of the waste? There must be some waste accumulated, the toxins which you showed.
Mm-hmm.
So how does a patient at home get rid of that? How does it work?
Because this is with our cartridge, which is a consumables. So the dialysis regeneration system, we have some kind of cartridge which contains some chemical substances. It removes toxins and ions from the from the blood, from the body.
And sorry, last question would be, what is the comparison with the standard hemodialysis in terms of removal of toxins, in terms of ease and comfort of using this equipment?
Mm-hmm. Yes, the conventional system and other devices uses fresh dialysis, which means that it rapidly removes the ions and substances out from the body. But our device recycles the dialysis inside the system, which slowly removes the ions and things.
We've got about We've got a minute 45 left. Dr. Buzz from Synthesis Capital.
Hi, Paz. Good to see you. A quick question. So, my understanding is about 75% of the world who need access to dialysis don't get access to dialysis. And you've talked about this new market creation, which I imagine is more low to middle income countries. What's the price sensitivity of your device, and is it relevant in those countries?
That's a very good question. Actually, we are under development, so the price sensitivity, that's we haven't decided. We are developing the devices and the consumers for the developed countries like Australia, Japan, EU, and the US. So for the areas for poor water infrastructure, So we have to deploy the treatment after we have some kind of cost reduction later on. So it's not our prioritized market there.
We've got about 45 seconds left, only time for a quick one. Judges look satisfied. Thank you, judges. Once again, Kaz of Physioload Gas Technologies. Thank you. All right, next pitch comes from Revivo Biosystems, and representing this, we have Dr. Massimo Alberti. Hello, Dr. Alberti.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right,
Hi.
are you ready?
I'm ready.
The time starts now.
Thank you. Good afternoon. At Revivo, we want to accelerate preclinical testing. Whether it's an anti-aging creams, medication absorbed by the guts, or injectable like Ozempic to lose weight, active ingredients must go through robust preclinical testing, and $50 billion are spent annually for these studies. And yet, there are very high failure rates. Animal testing are usually involved, which can be scientifically questionable. Plus, the FDA is pushing to move away from animal testing and use alternatives. Typical alternatives are in vitro static cell culture-based systems, which are simplistic models and have short time variability. So the solution is in our dynamic culture method. At Revivo, we put together a unique team of engineers, biologists, and bioanalytical experts, plus a sprinkle of healthy madness to provide a platform that combines proprietary hardware, functionalized tissue models, and a new bioanalytical method. We grow and culture human tissues in our microfluidic devices that mimic the function of the blood flow so that natural human properties are established. We then track biomarkers over time to assess how the tissue has responded to different treatments. You get reliable data with higher translatability. So for example, take a colon tissues. In the lab, if you just last 1 day. With our system, it's viable for 4 days. A skin tissue for 20 days. Combined with the automation provided by Relego, you get up to 10 times saving in biomarkers, in biomaterials and manpowers. With enhanced biomarker kinetics, you accelerate preclinical decisions. And this is why we generated 1.3 million revenues from clients like P&G, Unilever, BSF, and Boehringer Ingelheim, with 60% growth in the first half of 2025. So why are we here seeking $4 million? Because our clients are asking us, can you integrate real-time bioanalytics into your Relego? And we say yes. And to do that, we developed RevFiber, a new IP that allows us to track biomarkers in real time using fluorescent indicators, and also leads to cost savings in the immunoassays. RevFiber will unlock 2 additional revenue streams from the kits with the tissue models and a growing bioanalytical database. We tap into a $16 billion preclinical testing market, and with RevFibers, we are in place to achieve 25 million revenues by 2030. In the team, we also have preclinical experts, commercial experts, and we have distributors in Asia, Europe, and North America. And we're seeking $4 million to enter in a new area for preclinical testing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Alberti. And we have now 4 minutes with the judges. Time starts now. We've got a question from Dr. Pauline of NHIC, please.
Hi, Massimo. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Pauline.
Maybe you can tell people what's the difference between 3D modeling and 4D modeling?
Yeah, thanks a lot for the questions. So 3D models are basically, let's start with 2D models. 2D models are cells that grow in a surface. But the cells in our bodies, they grow in a 3-dimensional space. So it's a constant in 3D. What is missing, however, in a 3D models is the function of the blood flow in a way. The nutrients are static. There is no exchange of nutrients. And you have to do it manually. In our system, you have a continuous flow of nutrients that provides a more realistic models, produces better differentiations of the cells, and ultimately leads to more reliable data.
And what is that additional thing that you want to do with the fluorescence tagging and real-time biomarker detection?
So right now, what happened is post-processing at the end of the experiment, you have sampled all the cell culture media at different time points with the Relego machine. But you still have to do ELISA assays. This will be completely replaced by this red fiber because the fluorescent biomarker of interest will be released directly in the cell culture medium.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thanks.
We've got about 2.5 minutes. We've got a question from Anselm from Clavist Bio.
Where are you in the development of the kits, and how are you going to drive sales for the kits?
Thanks a lot. Very good question. We had developed the red fiber technology, so this technology is being patented. We have a tissue, for example, skin tissue models already grown in our labs regularly. We have oral mucosa models, and we have gingival models. We want to go into gastrointestinal models as well. The good thing of this system is you can also use real human explants from skin, from the gut, from the colon. And so we are planning to launch the first models, Rev Skin, as a commercial product that user can buy it next month.
Got a question now from Jenny of Polaris Partners.
I was wondering if you could comment on the competitive landscape and what your differentiating advantage is. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. It's a good question. As I showed before, the technology is composed by three main parts. So there are, let's say, competitors in different categories. I tend to simplify in this way. There are providers of reconstructed tissue models, MatTek and EpiSkin, who, however, do not provide these dynamic culture systems. Other organ-on-a-chip companies, where there are quite a lot of them out there, they focus on upstream automation of the culture systems. We have focused on automating the downstream testing processes instead and facilitating that. The last thing is with this new technology, the red fiber, it positions us in a place where nobody else is currently doing something like that. And last thing is we are very strong in barrier tissue. Any tissue that represents a barrier between the outside and the inside of the body.
We've got about 45 seconds left. Dr. Buzz, Synthesis Capital, quick one, please.
A quick question. So you have some big clients there, some big name clients. Are they one-off pilot partners or are they repeat customers for you?
They're starting to be repeated customers, especially this year. We have seen tremendous traction this year with P&G, Unilever returning as well. BSF, again, new project coming in next month. Boehringer Ingelheim, they purchased the Relego system, so they're going to continue purchasing the microfluidic chips.
I do believe that's pretty much the time we have. Thank you, judges. Once again, Dr. Alberti for Revivo
Thank you.
Biosystems. Grazie.
Prego.
We have two more startups to pitch. Please welcome on stage Syngene Biotherapeutics, Dr. Kai Ma. Hello, Dr. Ma.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good?
Yes.
Okay, 3 minutes
Yes.
starts now.
Okay. Dear judges and friends, I'm Kai. I'm the co-founder of Syngene Bio. So the problem we are addressing is actually actual hepatic drug delivery in pharma industry, meaning to effectively deliver cutting-edge therapies to different organs for disease treatment, which actually has become one of the critical challenge for the development of new medicine. So our solution to this challenge is differentiated. We are using silica biomaterials, which has unique biocompatibility and chemistry versatility. So we have a proprietary chemistry system enabling us to conjugate different types of warheads onto a ultra-small silica clusters with diameter only around 3 nanometers, way smaller than most of the serine proteins. This small particle is able to deliver many types of drugs, including RNAs, nanobodies, radioisotopes, peptides, and so on, to a rich family of organs that are not easily accessible by the conventional drug delivery system. So our technology have differentiated advantages, including programmable tissue specificity, deep tissue penetration, high drug loading capacity, and most importantly, almost no immunogenicity. Our research results have been published in top-tier journals, including Nature, and has been described as the latest breakthrough in the field of silica-based biomaterials since 1943. Our team and the technology also have received 6 United States FDA INDs, validating the technology safety and efficacy in the clinic. So based on this core technology, we have 3 sub-platforms targeting big unmet clinical needs, including kidney delivery platform focusing on chronic kidney diseases, lymphatic delivery platform focusing on autoimmune diseases, and a tumor delivery platform focusing on radioligand therapy. So the total addressable market of our platform technology is over $200 billion US, and in each of these directions, we have clear benchmark companies that we are comparing to, shown here. So since founded, actually, we have generated large amount of solid data showing the disruptive superior efficacy and safety using our technology as compared to the competitive technologies. It's very exciting data, but I may not have the time to go into details here. So based on these platforms, we are pushing multiple pipelines to the clinic, and so we can diversify our value creation by not only independent R&D, but also through MNC collaborations like pipeline asset transactions and technology licensing. So our company have got investments from top-tier VC and pharma companies, and we are currently in the process of closing our pre-round money raise. We also have received the TS for BD deals and collaborations from big companies. Next year, there will be 3 of our pipelines entering clinical trials, and we are very looking forward to finalize some of these BD deals. So our companies actually, the team come from top institutions like Cornell, Princeton, Harvard, and Tsinghua University. We also have attracted top individuals, VC investors, and pharma experts to join us as well. So we just have a daughter company registered in Singapore, and we are very much looking forward to expand our global operation in Singapore. So our dream is to change patients' life using the cutting-edge next-generation drug delivery technology. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Ma. Thank you. Okay, 4 minutes with the judges. Time starts now. Judges who would like to go first, do we have a question for Dr. Ma? We've got from Navjiwan, Nova Holdings, please.
Yeah, can you speak a little bit about why silica and why can't other competitors copy that? I mean, it's a fairly common product.
Right. Actually, silica is one of the most common composition in Earth, right? So actually, not only the biocompatibility is very unique as compared to other drug delivery platform, so it doesn't have, based on our design, it doesn't have the obvious immunogenicity. But the most importantly is the chemistry versatility. So using the silica-based chemistry that we have been developing in our lab for over 15 years. So we can accomplish a surface ligand conjugation density that is way higher than any other technologies that can accomplish. So it is actually the surface ligand density enable us to generate the ultra-hydration layer to protect the material from being identified by the immune system, which give all of these unique advantages. And at the same time, we can load and deliver many types and molecules with a high number, right? That's actually the chemistry difference, yeah.
And can you explain about what is the platform generality versus specific optimization? Like how do you target a particular area or a particular, you mentioned the tumor, instead of, having a general platform kind of effect?
Right, so this is like a Lego set. So there are different parameters we can tune to tune the chemical physical properties of the materials, including particle size, lipophilicity of the particle surface, and the particle surface charge, and also the administration route of. So these are parameters we can tune. And in addition, for example, cancer, if there is a good biomarker, and then we can also conjugate the targeting ligands like nanobodies, fragment or peptides from the particles for active targeting. So actually, this platform have the silica unique chemistry versatility. Therefore, we can have a combination of these tuners to optimize the particle surface chemistry so that they can specifically go to different organs. We call it programmable tissue specificity. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I think we have a question from Dr. Yeo of A-Star.
Thank you. Can I ask what are the substance that your drug delivery system cannot package?
Right, mRNA we cannot. So basically the size is very small. So we are ultra small silica. Therefore we can only pack like molecules with molecular weight less than, I would say, 20 kilodalton. Right, bigger molecules we cannot. Right. So RNAs we can do that, but not mRNAs, small RNAs.
So in your animal studies or your in vitro studies, do you show that your material can actually release the drugs, the payload?
Yes, actually we have plenty of data showing that they can release the drugs by different mechanisms. So for example, we can use the linker chemistry that has been very well established in the ADC field. We can also use other technology that we have optimized to release specific type of siRNA. So we have plenty of data showing that we can not only get the drug to the lesion, but we can also release it in an effective way. Yeah.
40 seconds left. Only time for a quick question, judges. We've got another one from Navjiwan of Nova Holdings.
So I think the company's success depends upon either technical success, commercial success, and I would say operational success, this scalability and etc. So out of the three, which is the most riskiest? I mean, if which is the most riskiest part of this company? Is it technical, is it operational, or is it regulatory?
That's actually a very good question. So we have, in short, it's actually operation. Right, we need to marry the unique advantages of our platform with the real big unmet clinical need. So that's the key decision we need to make. If that's not working, then everything doesn't work. And we have been validating this technology in the lab, also in the clinics, also in commercial market for over 15 years. So this is I'll stop it there.
Thank you for that. Judges, that's all the time we have. Thank you once again to Dr. Ma
Thank
of
you.
Syngene Biotherapeutics. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, judges, our final pitch. This is our final startup representing Women X Biotech. Please welcome Dr. Pui Wah Choi. Hi, Dr. Choi. Last but best.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, your 3 minutes starts now.
Ending 350,000 cervical cancer in APAC with one sanitary pad at a time. I'm Dr. Choi, the founder of Women X Biotech. So currently, when women they have to screen for cervical cancer, they do pap smear test. They go to the clinic, sit on the chair, and then there's a speculum and a brush inserted into the vagina. In APAC, 65% of women they skip the test because there's limited access to clinics, discomfort, invasiveness, embarrassment, cultural and religious stigma. So we launched PadX. PadX is a sanitary pad that can detect the causative agent of cervical cancer, HPV virus. So there is a chip inside this pad where menstrual blood flows through. At the same time, it captures the cervical cells and concentrate it, and it gets rid of the microbial contaminations. And we ran the clinical study in Hong Kong, and it shows a incredibly 99.2% accuracy, non-invasive, no pain, home tech, guaranteeing privacy. 3 simple steps in 3 days, it changes every woman's life. Use the pad, and then pad it and send it to the lab. And within 3 days, they get the electronic report. And with our special design, the sample stability is 30 days. No cold chain transportation is needed. And when we, in the future, have multiple laboratory partners in APAC, the technology is going to cover the whole APAC. And we have tractions. We launched in Hong Kong this January. Within 7 months, we already captured 3.8% of the private cervical cancer screening market. And 47% of our customers have never done any pap smear before. And 90% of them will choose our technology as the next screening. So we will transform our technology for detecting other female diseases, including preterm birth and also other female cancers. And now we are raising $3 million to get CE approval and also FDA approval. And if we win in SLINGSHOT, we will use the money for clearing the CE mark for collateral and start the clinical study in Singapore and apply for the HSA. We're now distributing the pads through D2C channel and chain pharmacy in Hong Kong. And we are now talking with multiple insurance and also diagnostic partners that trying to tap into the clinic and the insurance and the government sector. The team was led by me, the CEO. I have 50 years female cancer research experience both in CUHK and also Harvard Medical School. And Dr. Rebecca Lee is the chief scientist. She has 10 years commercialization experience in lab-developed tests in Hong Kong. So when we implement nationally, we can save 63% of medical costs and save millions of women's lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Choi. Okay, we've got 4 minutes now with the judges. You ready? Okay, judges, we've got a first question from Chris of Venture Blake, please.
Yeah, I've got 2 questions. I assume your product is being manufactured in China. Is that correct? No?
No, in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong?
Yeah.
You show $130. Is that per pad? For how many packs are you looking at?
Inside each kit test, there's 1 pad.
Right.
So $130 US is the listing price at the chain pharmacy. But usually the customer get it sometime lower, maybe some discount with 25% off or 50% off.
And how's your IP protection? Do you have patents to?
We have a patent, we are like patent pending. in US and also China. We have a patent that is protecting like the materials used inside the sanitary pad, and there is also certain part about eluting the biomolecules that's trade secret.
Thank you. Our next question, Steve from Halion.
I love the improved access. It's fantastic. Often this is part of a screening program. I can see in terms of someone buying it themselves, it's obvious. Are you getting traction from public health bodies?
Yes, actually, because in Hong Kong, government has their national the screening program, and it collaborates with Roche. And I did talk to Roche Diagnostic, and they are very interested to incorporate the TAT with their like IVD reagent. Yeah, we are getting like more and more attractions.
We'll get the next question from David of HSBC.
Yep, just quickly, the sensitivity of 99.2% is great. What about the specificity and false positives?
The specificity is around 98%. Yeah.
Got a question from Dr. Pauline of NHIC.
Okay, this is going to sound a little bit odd because you're collecting, the test is based on menstrual blood collection. How about women who are in menopause?
Very good questions. We are developing a panty liner that collects the mucus, and we are now currently working on that. So expect it will come like maybe 1 year later. We already secure a fund from Science Park for conducting the panty liner research.
We've got about a minute and a half left. Frederick from MedTech Innovator.
Thanks, great presentation. Quick question on reimbursement. Is there any, either in Asia or you look into the US as well? What's the situation there?
Currently, our first market that we'll move to will be the SEA market, because in SEA, around 65% of women, they don't take the pap smear, but in US and UK, it's around like 79 to 80% they take the pap smear. So SEA will be the first market that we will expand into. And about the reimbursement, then we have to work together with the insurance or the government body in the future.
We've got about 50 seconds left. Chani from Polaris Partners.
Thanks so much for the presentation. You know, the trial study that you shared, of course, has really nice satisfaction rates, and I'm just wondering whether that was a self-selected group. Do you have any comments on the willingness to adopt? You know, because there's a bit of an ick factor with a test like this.
Oh, thank you so much. For the clinical study sorry, what's the first question? Sorry about that.
It's really about the willingness to adopt.
Oh, yeah. They are super willing to adopt because there is only like not many non-invasive detection of cervical cancer. But the main thing is the pricing. I can feel that. So people are they welcome these solutions. And in Hong Kong, we test that if they are okay with shipping the pads to our laboratory, and they find it okay because not really so they want it. But the most important thing is when we reduce the cost, many people just rush and buy. It's like we increase 50% of the sales when we reduce the cost. So the pricing is still one main factor. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That's all the time we have. Once again, Dr. Choi of Women X Biotech.
Thank you so much.
And with that, it brings us to the end of the Health and Biomedical Domain Finals here at SLINGSHOT 2025. Guys, if you took pictures or anything, please show your support for our top 60 global startups. Don't forget to tag us, Switch Singapore, and hashtag SLINGSHOT 2025. Judges, thank you, B, for being so patient. That was 17 startups. 2 hours sitting there to hearing all the pitches. And now we'd like to invite all the judges to head over to the room to deliberate. It's going to be hard. You have to think of which 3 you would like to push through to the top 12 grand finals. Good luck. Thank you once again to our judges. All right, guys, it's the end of day 1 of Singapore Week of Innovation and Technology. Thank you for joining us. What an inspirational day, so inspiring. We began this morning with our guest of honor, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Trade and Industry, Mr. Gan Kim Yong. He spoke about Singapore's vision to harness innovation, technology, and collaboration as key drivers for future-ready growth across industries. We also witnessed some thrilling pitches from 2 of the 4 domain finals of SLINGSHOT, the top 60 global startups. We also heard from speakers and panelists on frontier topics like agentic and embodied AI to transformative power of smarter technologies shaping tomorrow's world. Now we're going to kick off pretty early tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. It's going to be exciting. We have Mr. Tan Ming Liang, the CEO of Razer, who's going to be doing our opening keynote, and he'll share how AI is transforming gaming. And of course, we'll continue with SLINGSHOT. We've got startups from our last 2 domains, which will be environment, energy, and green technologies, and manufacturing, trade, and connectivity. And then we'll announce the top 12. Thank you for being here, for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. I do believe the exhibition is going to be open till about 6:30, so please go forth, make friends, innovate, collaborate, and connect with all our fellow innovators. Thank you for having me. My name is Yasmin. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.